guys, Matt and Scott with Stout Sportsmen, and today we have our post Neely Henry recap and our Drain the Lake for Guntersville.
Yes.
So I don't know. Are you liking these canceled first days and Monday tournaments, or?
I mean, schedule wise for me, it doesn't matter too much, but I was a little bit disappointed waking up Thursday morning, and I slept in a little bit, and actually I didn't know they weren't fishing until you had messaged me. So I was a bit surprised.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hadn't looked at the weather for a couple of days beforehand, but I didn't suspect anything would come up. But.
Yeah, it's they had a real wet practice there, and
yeah,
I guess they were just hoping that that they just figured that first day, let's just give them a day, let it settle down, because I know I even saw I think it was Lee Livesey's Instagram. He posted going down the lake during practice, and somebody's dock was like just floating down
the river.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
It was I don't know, it was a lot of fun. I watched quite a bit of this tournament as well. I don't know, probably 2-3 hours a day.
Yep.
And I think the coverage was pretty good for this event, the TV coverage anyway.
Definitely. I watched a little bit on Fox Sports 1. It wasn't too bad. Obviously they're trying to cater to that audience that isn't fishing.
Right.
They're trying to get more people into it. So it's just a little bit different than the regular Bassmaster online coverage.
Right.
But it's not bad. Obviously, I wish there was a little fewer commercials, but got to pay the bills.
The one thing that I will give props to Bassmaster Live off the website. The fact that even during the commercials, they still have a window up with whatever angler they're covering. So that's kind of nice. Kind of like I think NASCAR does that.
Yeah,
used to, anyways.
They do a little bit in football too.
Yeah.
Not that they're going to show much during the commercials during football.
TV timeout.
Yeah. It was nice to actually see. I this year I basically said, Gerald Swindle needs to show me something, and
he did.
Kind of showed me something.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. He fished. He fished extremely well, and just listening to some of his one-liners is absolutely hilarious.
Yep. Yeah. So it was. Am I going to pick him going forward? Maybe not. Probably not. But we'll see. If there's one event that you're going to pick him for, it's this next one.
Right.
But I think he's in Bucket A or Group A. So there's a lot of people in Group A that I would probably pick before him.
He is in Group A right now, 23.6.
Oof. So,
which actually, I would have thought he would have been higher, but I didn't think he would be in Group A. I thought he would have been in probably B.
Yeah.
So if he wasn't B or even C group, I'm sure he'd be 40% plus.
Yeah. It's when I set my lineup, I know that I went in there and I was just like, maybe if he's in B or C, I'll pick him, but
right.
I don't know about picking him in A.
No, I can understand if somebody does pick him. I mean, he's got a little bit of a hot hand. He's got home field advantage. It's not a bad pick, but I do think there's other anglers, like one of the other highest picked in A group right now.
Yeah,
Seth Feider, your AOY leader by far.
Yeah,
I mean, that man he's doing phenomenal.
Yeah, and he's been pretty decent on Guntersville, so it's hard to walk away from that.
Yeah.
So before we get into Drain the Lake, talk about Wes Logan. He won.
Who picked Wes Logan? That guy. Yeah. Honestly, Wes Logan winning that event, that didn't surprise me one bit. I mean, I don't know. I had a gut feeling kind of kind of like I had a gut feeling about Bill Weidler as well, but you know how that turned out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that pick Canterbury and Weidler, and we paid for it.
And you know what the smart pick was? Mueller and E Group.
Yeah,
absolutely. That was the pick of the tournament for sure.
Definitely.
What did you think about the weights?
I mean, it's tough because we went from Sabine, which was like the lowest weight.
Yeah.
We went to Lake Fork, which was like the highest weight you're going to see all season, and then back to Neely Henry, which was, what was it, 50 something, 54?
54 and change. Yeah.
So I mean that's,
or no, 57.9. I'm sorry.
57.
57.9.
So a little lower than I thought it was going to be, but I mean the conditions weren't, the water going up and down didn't help. But I mean, we haven't really seen too many 4-day events there, so
right.
there wasn't much to go off of.
Right. After I found out they weren't fishing Thursday, obviously they still had fantasy fishing open. And I went in and actually lowered my weight. I lowered it down to 66.9.
Yeah.
And after day one, I'm like, that wasn't enough. I'm like, I should have chopped another like 8 pounds off of that or so. But
yeah, what are you gonna do?
And I actually, going back to right about when we put our video out, Serious Angler Podcast I was listening to their picks, and Andy was talking about, he has a local buddy down there that was saying 14.5 is going to be your average top.
Yeah.
Which puts you at 58 pounds. And they came in at 57.9. So that's a pretty spot on pick.
Well, before we go any further, speaking of Andy, we actually are going to have a show with him here shortly. Which we will be recording here shortly, but so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd say with Neely Henry is, if you looked at the list of places that are going to be this year, Neely Henry was the one I was going to just put a question mark next to, because there's really no data to go off of.
Right.
Even the guys fishing it, like most of them hadn't been there, or
hadn't been there in a long time.
Exactly. So
yeah, or in the springtime.
Yep. The other thing I'd want to say before we move on to Drain the Lake is the crazy amount of, I'm trying to remember what it was, but just a little bit of movement in points shoots you up and down pretty quick.
Oh, ounces.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what I can't remember what we were saying. I'd have to look it up, but there's like 2,500 people between us, or
for fantasy.
Yeah, maybe that's 5,000 or something like that. But it's only like 250 points between us.
Right.
There's 5,000 people.
Right. So. Yeah. It was 250 or 60 points between us, and it's nuts.
Yeah.
So like this year, it just seems there's way more people in fantasy fishing this year, which is great.
So to say to that, I'd if you're having like a bad season, just one or two good events, and you could be right back into it.
Yeah.
Not looking so horrible.
And if West Logan wouldn't have finished in the top 10, I would have had just as bad of a week as you did.
Yeah. I got lucky with Jason Christie.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, none of my team made it to day 3.
Right.
So
yeah, that definitely helped. West Logan, that's 300 points, fantasy points plus 50 bonus.
Yep.
That was absolutely huge for me.
Yeah.
Because I only had one guy fishing day 3 and 4. So that's how bad it was.
Yep, same here. All right. So moving on to Guntersville, Drain the Lake.
Yep.
I see Guntersville as one that you're going to pick a lot of Southern anglers, because after this they have the Classic and 2 Northern events. So, my strategy is to pick a lot of Southern anglers, pick some guys who aren't fishing in the Classic.
Yep.
and then save a bunch of my northern anglers for the 2 northern events. I don't know how you.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna kind of prioritize the southern anglers and more that the east, some of the upper East Coast guys like your Crews or some of your even South Carolina guys, East Coast. I might save those for up north, but
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm just gonna kind of I don't know what the term is, but just do some house cleaning and just throw some random southern guys in there.
Yeah, for me, I still have Patrick Walters, which now thinking about it, I may keep him for the classic.
Right.
A couple other guys. I have Wes Logan, Gerald Swindle, because after this event, I wouldn't use them. Buddy Gross is on the list. Mark Menendez, Frank Talley.
There's a lot of guys left.
Yep.
And is there going to be people left over after the events are done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking there should be, because there's 90 something guys by 8. I mean, that's like 12 or 13 events worth of guys right there. And we're only doing this Drain the Lake for 5 or 6 events.
Yep. Yeah. So going into next year, it's going to be interesting because
next year will be different.
Yeah, because
much different.
You're going to have to strategize way ahead of time, because if they keep the number at 8 over 10 events, because I think so, you're looking at 80 guys, and there's only going to be like 100 guys. So it's definitely going to be
be a lot tougher.
Be close.
It's going to be tougher coming down to the wire.
Yep.
But that's next year. We'll worry about that then.
Yeah, I think the big thing with Drain the Lake is I know they're giving prizes out for every week. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, and I might even take this strategy next year, is just figure out one event that I'm going to be really good at and just pencil all my good guys that I know are going to show up that event and just try to win one week.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for prizes or whatever to win something.
Yeah,
that could be the way to go, and you could absolutely load up if they're going back to St. Lawrence or somewhere up north. You could have a really good shot doing it that way.
Yep. I think for us, when we see the final list of anglers and we see the events that are coming up, then we'll probably closer to Christmas time into January, we'll have videos for each tournament as far as guys to look for those events, just to get them out there in the open beforehand and kind of help people out.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll keep this one short and sweet. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, that sounds good. Short and sweet's good. You know what I do like about just our quick Drain the Lake stuff, along with our previous recap stuff, is the fact that we don't actually have to make picks, because each person's different. So I could throw 8 guys out there and be like, somebody watching, hey, I only have 3 of those guys left. Those are useless picks. So we're giving our train of thought how we're going to pick and go from there.
Yeah, it's totally a strategy thing, and them starting it in the middle of the season, I understand they're probably like, hey, let's just throw this out there and see how it goes.
Right.
So if it sticks for next year, then we will, we'll be able to show you guys some strategy and some different things that we're thinking about.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Cool.
All righty.
All right.
We got next Thursday starts Guntersville. Yep. So we'll probably plan on Friday or Saturday for a video for our Lake Guntersville picks.
Sounds good.
Most likely.
Works for me.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right. I'm Matt. That's Scott. We are Stout Sportsmen. Like, subscribe if you're not already. And have a good night. Stay stout.
We're out.